Transportation in Thailand and the Philippines are very similar. They both have a whole slew of options, which probably contribute to the chaos you will see on the roads. Long distance travels are usually done by buses and ferries, while daily transportation is done by rail, motorbikes, taxis, and Grab or Uber. If you are staying in major cities for both countries, transportation is not that different. Be met with the same chaos, but the traffic situation in Manila is much worse than Bangkok. Going out to the provinces, there will be fewer options, but the methods are the same. Hail a moving vehicle and get on. The tuk-tuk is very iconic Thai. It's run by a single motor on 3 wheels with an extended passenger seat at the back. Tuk-tuk drivers have gotten a bad rap in overcharging foreigners, but it is not necessarily true all the time. It originated from an old-fashioned rickshaw used during WW2 and used to be the go-to transportation before trains and colorful taxis took over. You can see this everywhere and you can be quite convenient if you are in small town. Philippines. The Philippines has its own version of the tuk-tuk called the tricycle. It is literally a motorbike with a covered sidecar attached. It's available everywhere in the Philippines and even the main mode of transportation in islands provinces. The more popular icon is the Philippines jeepney. Also originating from WW2, it has set routes and set fares, but the routes are a bit difficult to understand. Download Grab and Uber if you are not used to the transportation system of both countries or how to get to where you need to go. It is always safest to download Grab and Uber. Note that Uber no longer works in the Philippines. The main challenge for the Philippines is geography. Unless you are headed to the mountain range in Luzon, the only options you have are plane flights or overnight ferries. This takes up a lot of vacation time. Thailand, on the other hand, is pretty much one big landmass and has more options if you are planning to go from one part of the country to another. And safety. The biggest question any traveler has in mind in visiting a new destination is it safe? The general answer is yes. Again, despite political turmoil and religious clashes, the streets of Thailand and the Philippines are as safe as any other street in the world can be. There have been bombings in the recent past, especially during the anniversary of the Thai junta that took over the government, but none of these have been dubbed as a terrorist attack. There are many other places around the world. There have been bombs with this kind of threat, but this is not something to worry about in either Thailand or the Philippines. Most tourist destinations are generally safe, but be aware of areas that are unsafe. Even for locals, vigilance is key for any traveler, and this is needed in Southeast Asia just as much as anywhere else in the world. As long as you are not intending to do anything illegal in either country, you should be just fine. Life. Now, here is where things get interesting. Thailand and the Philippines have a long list of beach and island destinations where each one is unique and the best at something. There are certainly some headlines like Patongok in Phuket and the world's 3 best islands in the Philippines, Boracay, Cebu, and Palawan, are always a winning choice. But if you want something out of the ordinary, here are 3 more beaches for a more unique vacation experience. Thailand, Freedom Beach. It is the Quita sister of Patong in Phuket. while the latter is known for parties and a lot of exciting activities. Freedom Beach is a more scheduled area with clear blue waters. It is a little difficult to access, which is probably why it remains pristine despite the heavy influx of tourists. But the journey is worth it with clean beaches and great snorkeling. Located in Koh Tao, Outlook Bay is a super place to snorkel in Thailand. Its colorful coral reefs are home to baby blacktip reef sharks. It is great even for kids as the waters are always calm and warm. Philippines, Puerto Galera. Divers from all over the world are no strangers to Puerto Galera, but this town, just 3 hours outside of Metro Manila, is a haven for beach burns, partygoers, and water adventures. It is a UNESCO protected site since 1973, and marine life has been thriving since. There are several beaches with powdery sand and many bars by the water for an ice cold and cheap beer. Island. Mindanao doesn't have the best reputation, but Samel Island is reason enough to get over that unfounded fear. Located 2 hours from Davao City, it is one of the most developed vacation destinations in the Philippines. It has several white and pink sand beaches with world-class resorts. It's an extremely well-maintained island with extremely clean surroundings and crystal clear blue waters. Goa Island. Another win for Mindanao is the surface, having called Siago Island with large waves throughout the year. It's a popular surfer town with many foreign travelers ending up staying for good. It is filled with good vibes, combining with spectacular land and water forms, despite being known for surfing. Siago also boasts of clear rock pools, caves, lagoons, waterfalls, and hiking trails. Thailand and Philippines share many culture and geographical traits, but with each country has something different to offer. It really depends on the kind of adventure you are looking for. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to Ainako TV and press the bell button for more notification for new videos.